G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and I thought I'd give you guys an update on my tank watering system. You know, the solar water or irrigation system that I was talking about well, probably 6 weeks or so ago. I've had some requests to give a more in-depth and an update on how this is going, and I'm pleased to say I'm really happy with how this Irrigatia solar watering system is working out. Now this system here, it's actually sitting on top. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's that unit on top there. And it's currently watering a tomato here that I'm letting grow up. It's a small pear type. 1, 2, 3, 4 eggplants. These are the larger varieties. A grapevine that a cutting that I'm starting to propagate. And it's growing very well. It's going all the way up here. It's growing out of control actually. So that'll be good to plant out next season. I've got some mini greens, some of those micro greens I've just stuck in the great pot here, and it's getting watered at the same time. They're just about had it now. This is an Egyptian spinach. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pots. They're the 10-inch across pots, growing really well. The plants are just loving it. You can see that they've got no problems growing at all. And then this is my little mini seedling area. Perennial capsicum, a few Kia apples, some different tomatoes that have just started to come up, some dragon fruit seedlings, and a whole bunch. And I'm also testing out lettuce. This is the hottest part of the year. It's just coming into autumn now, so it's starting to cool down. But I trialed a few different types of lettuces, which of course really shouldn't be grown in the subtropical heat in the middle of summer. But they actually didn't work too bad, because the sunlight wasn't overly direct for most of the day. So you could say it might have been part shade. And because they got continuous water, or regular water, consistent water from this watering system, we actually got, you know, several weeks of good salad crops before they bolted to seed. So I was really happy with the results of growing some salad or some traditional salad crops through the middle of our summer here. So that worked really well as well. It's a good experiment. I've just got a few more tomatoes up here. I don't know what I'll do with these ones on the side here. I might put some strawberries in here. I haven't decided yet. Around the side I've got my old propagation and seedling growing mini shade house that I haven't hooked up to the watering system yet, because this system up here, it'll only take 24 lines. Yeah, overall I'm really happy with how this little device is performing. I mean, it's working off solar energy, it's using my tank as the water resource, it's feeding all these pots and plants and containers and seedlings. It's doing a great job. So let's have a bit of a chat about how easy this thing is to set up. I'm not going to get too in depth, but I'll just give you a rough overview of how I set this one up. Now, here's the unit up here. You can see it's about the size of half a brick. It's very small, and it's called an Irrigatia. Now, it's sold worldwide, you know, Amazon, eBay, and it's a UK designed device. It's actually made by a guy in England, and in Australia it's sold by his brother or brother-in-law, I can't remember exactly, and it's sold under the name Water Wand. But you can buy it off the Water Wand website, or you can go to eBay and buy it there. But you know, wherever. This model here has been superseded buy another one that's probably a good 40 or 50 bucks more. However, this older device here is still working really good for me. If I'm going to upgrade my system and get another one so that I can water more plants, say my other section over there, well then I might upgrade to the newer model. The newer model has a warning device on it that tells you when your tank is getting low, and it's got a couple of other improvements, I believe. But anyway, let's talk about this irrigator device here. It has the capacity to water pretty well, or to make 24 lines like these. So 24 drippers coming off. You could put more on there, but then it would start to, from the manufacturer's advice, not work really effectively. They come with 12 drippers, and you can then add another 12 onto it. I'm finding with 24 drippers on this device, everything is getting watered evenly and plenty of water. The way it works is quite ingenious. It's got a dial on the side from 1 to 5, and you can figure out how much you water your plants and what time of year and that type of thing. Of course, you can even add an inline stopper to some of these, or a tap. Those mini taps, 4mm taps, then you can turn them on and off for certain plants if you wanted to. But getting back to how the thing irrigates, is it will get up to capacity through its solar panel, and then it will turn the pump on and start watering. Depending on what setting you have that on, from 1 to 5, 5 being the longest, it will draw battery power down. If it's on, say, 5, it'll draw battery power down to 20% capacity, and it'll run for quite a long length of time, and then it'll have to recharge all that way back up. If it's set on 20 or 1, it might only draw down 20% of that battery and then stop, and the programming unit then will wait for it to get back up to capacity before it starts watering again. So it'll only water a little amount. So that's how it's regulated. It's not regulated by a timer. It's completely automatic, and if there's not much sun, it won't water much, so it won't overwater. And if it's overcast and raining or at night time, the unit basically switches itself off. So if it's not getting any sunlight, the plants aren't getting watered. And for us, it's been working perfectly. So on the really hot days where the sun is beaming down, this thing is watering 3 or 4 times a day. On the overcast times, or at night time, or when it's raining, the thing hardly waters at all. If not, it doesn't. It's got 2 lines in the base of the thing. One line drops straight down into the tank, and that hangs at about probably 10 centimeters from the base of the tank. You don't have to have a big tank, by the way. You can use this thing out of a bucket or a small container or a 1,000-litre container, whatever size container you got, you can hook one of these things up to. But in my case, the first lead goes down, and that's obviously the suction lead where it draws the water out from the tank. And the reason why you don't drop it right at the bottom or the base is because I don't want too much scum or anything like that and dirt getting drawn up into it, even though it does have a filter on it. So I've just got it sitting a little bit above. There's another line, the second line, that is the outsource, and it goes to the pot plants. So you just run that line around, and wherever you need it to go, in this case I've run it just straight around out from the unit, along the side of the back of the pots here, into my seedling area, and I've run it around the seedling area here, did a bit of a U-turn, and so that I can water the separate levels, and then I've come back out of my seedling unit and just at the back of these planter boxes here and back, and that's the line run. And then off that line you just simply cut, put in the T-bars, and they just screw in together, and just like putting together Lego or any type of irrigation unit, they just screw in, and on each one of the end of these drippers is a little spike, and they go into behind the pot planter into the seedling tray or whatever you have got to water, and they simply drips out, and that's how it works. There's really nothing more to explain about the setup of it. It's very, very basic and easy to do. Now, why wouldn't I use my pump to water my plants and just simply have that? Well, I'm not a fan of using a pump irrigation system. It uses electricity, and being a pump, it needs to be then on 24/7, and you've got pumps like these irrigating a fairly large property or a large veggie garden, or just a small area like this. It's just unproductive and sort of not energy efficient, because the thing has to keep priming and coming back on and off, and you're basically leaving an electrical device like this on just so that it waters your pot plants twice a day for 1 or 2 minutes. I mean, that's just not effective for me, so I like to leave my pump off, and when I'm watering the garden or doing some irrigation work, then I switch my pump on and leave it run. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when you've got pumps like these, or you're using town water under pressure, you've got to have pressure reducers. You know, you've got to maintain the irrigation timer units. You've got to set the timers, and I just found that for this type of operation, this little solar unit is what I was looking for, and I'm glad someone invented it. Is just magic for doing the job that I want it to do. Anyway, thought I'd give you an update on my solar watering unit and how well it's working for me at the moment. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some ideas out of it. Remember, go visit my blog, selfsufficientme.com, for all my written work. We've got a forum, selfsufficientculture.com. If you want to join that, feel free. And follow me on Instagram or Facebook, our Facebook page. There's a whole way, or a whole lot of areas you can catch up with me and my work and what's going on around the property. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.